Rolex raised its prices twice this year, once in January and again in June. And while that happened, one watch on this list quietly became worth double what the store charges for it. Another one is actually cheaper used than new, and almost nobody talks about it. This is what every Rolex really costs in 2026, from the cheapest one you can walk out with all the way up to the watch they call the president. Stick around because the numbers get weird. Let's start at the bottom of the ladder. The cheapest way into a real Rolex is the Oyster Perpetual 36. Retail price, $6,750. No date window, no fancy bezel, just a clean steel watch with over 100 years of history behind it. But here's the catch. Try to buy one at the store and you'll probably hit a waiting list. On the used market, the same watch runs around $8,000. And if you find one with the discontinued turquoise dial, the one people call the Tiffany, that little splash of color can multiply the price several times over. Its bigger brother, the Oyster Perpetual 41, retails at $7,050. Used price? Over $10,000. Think about that. A brand new watch, and people pay $3,000 extra just to skip the line. The turquoise version of this one jumped as much as 149% in its first 2 years. For the so-called entry-level Rolex, that's insane. Next up is the Explorer 36 at $7,900. This is the quiet one. It was born from the 1953 Everest expedition, the same climb where Hillary and Tenzing reached the summit. And here's what makes it special in 2026. It sells used for about the same as retail. No hype tax. Watch people love it precisely because nobody's flexing with it. The Air King sits at $8,150. Aviation roots going back to the 1940s, and it inherited its anti-magnetic tech from the discontinued Milgauss. It's also the one sport Rolex you can actually find in a store this year. No waiting list drama. That alone makes it a unicorn. Now we cross the $10,000 line, and this is where things heat up. The Submariner with no date crossed that line for the first time ever in 2026, $10,050 retail. Used, around $13,600. The purist's pick, no date window, perfect symmetry, and the direct descendant of the watch that started all dive watches back in 1953. Its twin, the Submariner Date, retails at $11,350. The street price, almost $15,600. This is the most traded watch on the entire planet. If watches were currency, the Submariner Date would be the dollar. Quick pause. If you're finding these numbers as wild as I did when I pulled them, do me a favor and subscribe. Every watch on this channel gets researched with current market data, prices as they actually are right now, not what some old blog says. There's more coming, including the watch that doubled. Back to the list. The Datejust 41 with the fluted bezel runs $11,650 retail, about $14,300 used. This watch has been in production since 1945, and it quietly pays Rolex's bills. The version collectors chase is the gray dial with green numerals, nicknamed the Wimbledon. And now, the drama of 2026. The GMT-Master II, retail $11,800. The blue and black bezel, the Batman, trades around $20,000. But the red and blue Pepsi? In April, Rolex killed it. Discontinued, no replacement. Within weeks, buyer requests jumped over 500%, and the price shot to somewhere between $22,000 and $28,000. A watch that cost under 12 grand at retail. That's the double I promised you. Here's the plot twist of the whole list. The Sea Dweller. Retail, $14,550. Used price, around $12,000. Yes, you read that right. Cheaper used than new. It dives deeper than any watch here, over 1,200 meters. It has a special valve built for saturation divers, and the hype crowd just ignores it. If there's a sleeper on this list, this is it. The Land Dweller is the newest name in the catalog. Launched in 2025, the first all-new Rolex line in over a decade. 16,450 retail, trading above that because you simply cannot get one yet. Roger Federer leaked it on his own Instagram days before the official reveal. It carries 32 patents, and it's the first steel Rolex where you can see the movement through the back. Then comes the king of premiums, the steel Daytona. Retail, 16,900. Used, around 34,800. That's more than double retail, the biggest gap in the whole lineup. And the vintage ones? Paul Newman's personal Daytona sold at auction in 2017 for $17.7 million. Still the record for any wristwatch ever sold. The Sky Dweller is Rolex's most complicated watch, 17,750 retail, about 23,500 used. It tracks 2 time zones and knows which months have 30 days. The mint green dial is the one everyone wants this year. Near the top, a strange one. The Yacht-Master 42 in white gold, $40,000 retail. Used? Around 27,000. That's 32% off just for not being the first owner. It's a solid gold watch on a rubber strap, and the market has decided that combination doesn't hold value. One man's loss is another man's discount. And finally, the president. The Day-Date 40 in yellow gold, 48,000 retail, and right now it trades at or slightly above that, around 50,000. Only ever made in gold or platinum. It was the first watch in history to spell out the full day of the week. Lyndon Johnson wore one in office, and the story goes that JFK got his as a private gift from Marilyn Monroe. Gold prices exploded this year, and this watch rode the wave. So here's the picture in 2026. Steel sport models cost way more used than new. Gold models, the ones built to impress, often cost less. The waiting list is the real product, and the price tag in the store is almost fiction. None of this is financial advice. Watches go up and down like anything else. But if you're ever standing in that store wondering what the thing on your wrist is really worth, now you know. If this saved you from overpaying, or just made you want a Pepsi bezel you can't have, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. New price breakdowns drop every week, real numbers, no fluff. And tell me in the comments, which one would you actually wear? See you in the next one.